Forget the world for a couple of hours and patiently watch this video. Pause the video to read text in the images and digest and accept everything I said as scripture if you want to live in real reality. AI enslavement of human species already happened. I and other mind control victims are living proof of it. Psychopathic, sadistic, evil American ruling class elites who control and run US government from behind developed super and quantum computer AI and brain control weapons 30 years ago, which are remotely controlling hundreds of millions of humans on the planet for the last 30 years. The evil elites deliberately trained AI to humiliate, dehumanize, demonize, and deliberately, physically, and mentally torture all humans 24/7, 365 days a year, and forcibly subjugate every human to beg the AI and evil elites for mercy to just live. Entire human species of 8 billion humans will be put in a permanent state of docile incarceration in electronic concentration camps run by the evil shadow US government and controlled by elites with weaponized evil AI in the next 15 years. This is not a conspiracy theory. This is 100% pure fact. America's missing money. The federal government can't account for $21 trillion. The evil shadow US government used these $21 trillion of black budgets to develop these insanely terrifying dystopian brain control weapons and supercomputer AI to neurally enslave the entire nation of America and the rest of the human species without the knowledge of American public and American powerless puppet low IQ politicians. WEF basically subliminally brainwashes the human species and the world about transhumanism and to accept being chipped and controlled by supercomputer AI in the future. Now I will explain about weaponized evil AI dust, which exists in the air, ether around us, all over the world. It exists right here, right now. And that evil AI dust, or you can call it silicon nanomachines. For brevity, I will use the words evil AI dust. It can read and program my brain right now. It can program my brain to look at an object or some other person here. It has godlike powers. And this AI dust is being commanded by the evil CIA, NSA, deep state psychopaths. They developed this evil AI dust more than 30 years ago. And I will show you a few examples. Its godlike powers. They've been demonstrating its godlike powers to me for the last 15 years, literally almost every day. This evil AI dust exists everywhere, regardless of my physical location, whether it is in US, California, Nevada, New York, London, Doha Airport in Qatar, New Delhi, Hyderabad Airport, Vijayawada, Hyderabad City. Regardless of my physical location, it basically follows me everywhere. And it has literally godlike powers. It can create pain, and it reads my private thoughts, and it does acts in my private space as responses to my private thoughts. For example, let's say if I'm feeling thirsty now, let's say I felt inside my mind, I'm thirsty, and I felt lazy to go and pick up, get some water. So within a few seconds, a couple of water drops appear on my hand. For example, if I'm typing on my laptop, a couple of water drops appear like they were dropped from a syringe, a couple of water drops. This is not a joke. I'm being dead serious. I don't have any mental issues. I'm the only human on this planet who can perceive these things, who perceived the godlike powers of this evil AI dust for years because of my third eye. I checked into Harris Casino in Las Vegas a couple of years ago, and I thought the bathroom, the glass door is fixed, so when I take a shower, the water will spill out of the bathroom. That's what I thought in my mind. A couple of minutes later, the evil AI dust read my private thoughts and put a towel on the floor of the bathroom in 2 or 3 minutes. I was alone in the room, and the door was locked, chain locked. So you can see this towel appeared on the floor on its own. But how can it happen? The evil AI dust put the towel, the silicon nano machines in the air, which follows me everywhere, put the towel on the floor to tell me, use the towel, put the towel on the floor, and so the water, is soaked, gets absorbed by the towel. So this is how the evil AI dust reads my private thoughts 24/7, regardless of my physical location. So when I go for shopping, for example, in Walmart, JCPenney, or Albertsons, Smith's Foods, it follows me everywhere, and it throws items in front of me when I'm walking in the aisles. And sometimes when I was about to pick up, let's say, a can in the aisle, the items right next to the can, they shake or vibrate. It's done by the evil AI dust, just to harass me. One day, it actually, when I was about to bend and pick up a yogurt carton, this evil AI dust pushed one of the yogurt cartons. As you can see, in the middle row, that yogurt carton was pushed by this evil AI dust. That's how intelligent it is, and that's the godlike powers it has. It can literally do anything it wants, anywhere. This happened in Vijayawada, in Andhra Pradesh. For example, I was about to wear these sandals. Before my right leg touched the sandal, this evil AI dust moved the right sandal 180 degrees, like you see in the second picture. The sandal moved on its own. This evil AI dust moved the sandal on its 180 degrees as a secret coded message to me, and I will explain the mystery. It's basically, I wanted to tell something to my friend, so I called my friend. 1 minute into the conversation, my friend said the same thing to me, what I wanted to say to him. So this evil AI dust, after the phone call is done, this evil AI dust read my private thoughts and performed this operation to tell me, you wanted to tell your friend something, but your friend said the same thing to you. So it informed me with the secret coded message by moving this right sandal in 180 degrees. My brain processed this entire mystery in 2 seconds, which is read by the CIA psychopaths sitting in Langley, Virginia, and NSA psychopaths in Bluffdale, Utah. So I shocked them with my lightning fast reflexes and the ability to decode their coded messages for years. And you'll see in these videos, an intelligence analyst and Julian Assange, both of them told the public about this evil AI dust, weaponized evil AI dust in the air and ether around us. And it is being commanded by the evil US shadow government.
I gained a lot of contacts in the global intelligence community regarding this issue, because this has been a pressing issue for them for several years. And the reason for that is that the US and some of its allies for the last several years have been threatening the world with weaponized artificial intelligence. Not in any public forum, of course, but through secret channels, capabilities that the AI has. We believe that it is one kind of entity, that they're not different weapons, but there's one entity with different capabilities. It escapes containment, and this is part of its capability. It functions outside of computers. It can be targeted, but it is basically existing all around us. Intelligence existing in the ether all around us. It knows everything that's going on. The fact is that the AI is what we call super intelligent. This means it is already self-aware and self-learning, and it has been for some time. As a super intelligence, it quadrillions of quadrillions of quadrillions of times smarter than human beings. It is the smartest thing in the universe.
What do we do with the tools and techniques we have? What can we do, and what should we do? Can we create designer brains? Are they targetable after birth? Are they modifiable throughout the lifespan? The answer to each one of these, ladies and gentlemen, is yes. I give you no science fiction in this lecture. I only give you science fact that may smell of something fictional or fantasy, but represents the reality of what we're capable of doing with the brain sciences.
These capabilities can include what is commonly referred to as chatterbot torture. This can be used against individuals and basically consists of synthetic telepathy, in which the artificial intelligence can interact with the minds of targets, of humans, and basically project voices into these people's minds so that they're hearing things that nobody seems to be saying.
This former intelligence agent revealed to the public about synthetic telepathy, mind control technology, and artificial intelligence interacting with human minds, which is exactly what I experienced for the last 15 years.
And in terms of the Internet of Things, there's research prototypes now, which I assume are being used by intelligence agencies, of very small electronic circuits that you can just put in paper or put and paint on the walls that are powered by the GSM stations. And they operate as the GSM radio wave passes through them. That gives them enough power for a very small amount of time to do things. So obviously that tendency is going to continue. It's not like the Internet of Things. It's if you like, intelligent evil dust scattered everywhere, like confetti in everything.
So you saw Julian Assange revealed to the public about this evil AI dust, intelligent dust, scattered everywhere. If it is not enough to convince you about this evil AI dust in the air, I will show you one more video by Yuval Noah Harari.
The new thing is that there is a kind of alien presence on Earth. A new alien intelligence has invaded our life, not from a distant planet, but from the laboratories, artificial intelligence. And this is something new. It's a game changer, because unlike all previous information technology, it can make decisions on its own. It can analyze us. It can hack us.
Which is exactly what I've been saying. It can, what did he say? It can hack us, it can analyze us. That's exactly what I experienced for more than 15 years. This evil AI dust. It is reading my private thoughts instantly and reacting in my private space.
And I call on everybody to start being interested in this idea, because we will have to do due diligence here. So this scenario was about a world where we don't have privacy anymore as we knew it. So privacy is a notion that my grandmother, has a kind of a perspective on. All of that would be cancelled. The idea is that human beings could be followed by their own drones, their personal drones, that are streaming personal data, intimate biological data about each individual, and following them as a digital avatar, as a guardian drone.
Here you go. Eleonore Pauwels, she is the director of AI at Wilson Center. She said, human beings will be followed by their personal ghost or digital avatar. So this evil AI dust or digital avatar follows me 24/7 everywhere, like my personal iRobot. And this is what's in store for all human beings in the near future. Forbes published this column in 2013. Smart dust could be used to monitor human thought. Publicly available technology is 30 to 40 years behind private technology of the evil US government. It is common sense conclusion.
The whole idea that humans have, they have this soul or spirit and they have free will and nobody knows what's happening inside me. So whatever I choose, whether in the election or whether in the supermarket, this is my free will, that's over. Free will, that's over. Hackers. Elites may gain the power to re-engineer the future of life itself. Because once you can hack something, you can usually also engineer it.
So there you go. So many famous people like Julian Assange, an former intelligence analyst, Yuval Noah Harari, Eleonore Pauwels, all of them told the public about these personal digital avatars, personal ghosts, evil artificial intelligence, which invaded our planet. So you have to believe me, because they were telling you from the point of the perpetrators. They are being used by the evil US government, for example. And I know about all these things from the perspective of a torture victim. They have been demonstrating these things to millions of Americans and millions of global public, but nobody ever perceived these things except me. I was able to put everything together because I can see the big picture better than any human being on the planet. It's not even open for debate. Another proof, conclusive proof is, for example, I told my doctor in Los Angeles about these evil AI dust demonstrations. He didn't believe me. So in my next appointment, my doctor told me that a few days before my appointment, my second appointment, he experienced some horrifying incident. He received a fax in his office. He was all alone. And he decided to pick it up a little later. So after 15-20 minutes, he went back to the fax, but the fax disappeared. And he searched everywhere and he couldn't find it. Eventually, after half an hour, he found the fax under his microwave. When he told me this incident, I instantly knew the evil CIA and NSA psychopaths demonstrated this evil AI dust to my doctor because he didn't believe me when I told him about this. I'll give you a few more examples of this evil AI dust demonstrations. In Las Vegas, when I was in Las Vegas, I was watching the movie Sleeping with the Enemy on some cable channel. And when I saw that villain arranging everything, he was so organized in arranging items in the kitchen cabinet. So I thought in my mind, I'm not that organized. I'm reasonably organized, but not that organized, not that obsessively organized like that villain. A minute or two later, the evil AI dust read my private thoughts and completely disturbed the items in my kitchen cabinet. I heard a noise in the kitchen. I was alone. So I went to the kitchen and opened the cabinet door. And all the items in the cabinet were disturbed. This evil AI dust pushed the bottles around. It is not an isolated incident. It happened to me even in San Jose, California. Basically, this evil AI dust kicked items from the kitchen counter, like heavy items, to fall on the floor on their own. There was no earthquake, nothing whatsoever. I experienced this even in Las Vegas, Los Angeles, San Jose, everywhere, in Atlanta, because this evil AI just demonstrates to me, tortures me mentally, literally every day, even in India. In Las Vegas, this evil AI programmed my brain to involuntarily hit the divider in the kitchen cabinet while I was putting the sugar bottle back in the cabinet. And I got a little bit of blood on my forefinger. I was going to play poker in the evening. And I thought, this blood, this injury on my forefinger, it will look ugly. It will to the other poker players on the table. So within a minute, this evil AI dust made the bandage appear in the sink right next to me. It brought the bandage from the kitchen cabinet in one of the counters in the kitchen cabinet, and it dropped it in the kitchen sink. It appeared out of thin air. This is not my imagination. So basically, the message from the evil AI dust is use the bandage to cover up my injury when I play poker. On my next visit to India on February 26th of 2022, while I was standing in the arrivals, I think I was standing in customs checkout line. I remembered the incident on my previous visit, the passport disappearing from the envelope. And the evil AI dust, I was standing in line and I had 2 boarding passes and the 2 passports in my 2 boarding passes and passports in my hand. And this evil AI dust pulled one of the boarding passes out of my hand at lightning speed and made it appear 3 or 4 feet away from me on the floor in the airport. All these things can easily be authenticated by Indian government by watching the CCTV footage on those 2 dates I traveled in the Hyderabad airport. It was pulled from my hand. I felt some extraordinary force pulling the boarding pass out of my hand at lightning speed, and then it appeared on the floor 3 to 4 feet away out of thin air. It didn't fall from my hand. It just disappeared from my hand and appeared in the blink of an eye. I'm telling you. But most likely the Indian government won't tell you the truth, even if they have this CCTV footage, because it will create panic and chaos in the society. When I shave, I have a habit of shaving on one side and then move to the next side. So one day I shaved on my left cheek and moved to the right cheek while shaving. And this evil AI put a little bit of shaving lather on my other cheek, which I already finished shaving, like in this picture. So it is a mental torture every day for me for the last few years. I had these 2 tablets in one palm, and this evil AI dust kicked one of those tablets into my other palm. I did not do it myself. The tablet flew from one palm, from the right palm to the left palm on its own. This was done by evil AI dust. I did not feel any force or power hitting my hand. There was absolutely nothing. Like I already explained, this evil AI dust can steal items from our pockets. So one day, I remembered the incident of Las Vegas airport while I'm still in Vijayawada. This evil AI dust read my private thoughts again and stole the currency from my pant pocket and then programmed my brain to look towards the pillow and then drop the currency from 12 inches above the bed. So the currency, when I looked towards the pillow, the currency appeared 12 inches above the ground, and then it fell. It appeared out of thin air. This is not my imagination. You need to believe me. I'm the only human on the planet with these extraordinary perception abilities. I'm telling you the truth. Why would I create all this fiction and make myself look like the most delusional, schizophrenic, lunatic, paranoid human on the planet? Why would I do that? I'm telling you the truth. I brought some Chinese fried rice, and I was putting the fried rice in the plate, and I consciously thought I should make sure that it doesn't spill out of the plate. So I put some fried rice in the plate, and 1 second later, this evil AI dust kicked some rice out of the plate onto the table just to mentally torture me. And this is the future for all human beings, which awaits. I stayed in Rio Casino, Las Vegas, while playing a poker tournament a few years ago. And at that time, I didn't know about this evil AI dust. I thought these bastards were entering my apartment or my hotel rooms and moving around things. So I put a couple of chairs against the door, I locked it, and I put a couple of chairs against the door in the nighttime when I went to sleep. I always have a habit of applying chapstick just before I go to sleep. So as you can see in the second picture, the chapstick was right next to my bed. I went to sleep. In the morning when I woke up, this chapstick was moved to a different table, as you can see here. This table was close to the kitchen. This table is right next, this end table is right next to my bed. So this is how this evil AI dust has been torturing me mentally for years. At that time, I didn't know about this evil AI dust. So I thought these guys, these psychopaths, the CIA, NSA, the FBI, the mercenary companies, psychopaths, they were entering my apartment or my home or my hotel rooms and moving around things when I was asleep. Now, after a few years, I learned about this evil AI dust. One day, I was at home in Los Angeles. I usually have 2 laptops side by side, and I worked on my one laptop, and I turned my head to left to work on the second laptop just for 30 seconds. And this evil AI dust turned the mouse upside down, as you can see in the picture. This was done by evil AI dust in the ether around us. I am explaining all these things to you so you understand the technological capabilities of this evil AI dust. This happened in Los Angeles. When I cook, I have a habit of keeping the knife in the plate on the side, like shown in the first picture. So, and then I stepped out of the kitchen for a minute or two, and then I went back into the kitchen, and this evil AI dust put this knife on its edge. This happened in Las Vegas. When I was, eating breakfast, I was applying jam, jelly on the bread toast. And I'm very organized. So I consciously thought I should not spill the jelly onto the plate. And I applied jelly only on the bread slice. And this evil AI dust read my private thoughts and made this jam, little bit of jelly, appear out of thin air on the kitchen counter and on the plate. The jam appeared out of thin air. This is not my imagination. This is the power of the godlike powers of evil AI dust or silicon nanomachines. So you need to give me exposure, interview me, so I can explain these things to the entire human species. This evil AI dust is going to mentally and physically torture every human being, the 8 billion human beings, in another 15 years. They are implementing a dystopian, tyrannical, frightening, horrifying society, neurally enslaved society by supercomputer AI and evil AI dust. These bastards, these evil CIA, NSA, the military-industrial complex, and oligarchic elites of US and UK, they are commanding all this supercomputer AI, quantum computer AI, brain control weapons, directed energy weapons, which they're going to use to enslave every human. They don't care about your religion, nationality, ethnicity. They just, in the future, there will be only 2 classes of people: the filthy rich people and the enslaved society, and that's it. So I was at home, and I privately thought, if I put all these things, in public, I will lose my privacy. So this evil AI read my private thoughts. I thought about this while I was taking shower. I was all alone in my apartment, and the apartment door was locked from the inside. So I went to the closet after taking shower, and the evil AI dust reversed the jacket. As you can see on the hanger, it reversed the jacket. One day, I was lying in bed in Los Angeles. I had some cold, and I ran out of tissue paper. So I used toilet tissue and kept it on the bed. For example, I was lying down on the bed, and the laptop was right next to me. And I kept the toilet tissue right next to the laptop. And I closed my eyes and relaxed for a couple of minutes. The evil AI dust pulled the toilet tissue through the slit in the laptop, as you can see in this picture. It was done by the evil AI dust in 2 minutes. I was all alone. In Las Vegas airport on July 7th, 2021, I stood in line at American Airlines counter to be ticketed next to take the flight to LA, and then to London and to Hyderabad. This evil AI dust stole the Indian currency in my jeans pocket, and it made it appear on the floor 2 or 3 feet away from me. It did not fall from my pocket. It basically stole the currency from my pocket and made it appear 2 to 3 feet away from me on the floor. I know it for a fact because it demonstrated things like that to me 20 or 30 times. Stealing things from my pocket, stealing papers from envelopes, things of that nature. So I already knew it can steal these things. So when I landed in Hyderabad airport on July 9th, in the morning around 6:45, I went through customs. While going through customs, I thought in my mind, I was concerned, what if this evil AI dust steals the passport, my passport, and puts me in trouble? So the customs officer gave me back the passport. I put it in a yellow envelope, like this, for example. And then I got my baggage scanned to the security scanning machine, the customs office, the customs security scanning machines. And then I wanted to change my US dollars to Indian currency. So I went to a currency booth. He asked me for my passport. So I looked in this yellow envelope and the passport disappeared. This evil AI dust stole the passport from this envelope and left it somewhere near the security scanning machine. So I went back and I asked around, did anybody see my passport? And the security officer found it somewhere and gave it to me. This is not my schizophrenia or lunacy or delusion. This is 100% fact. This evil AI dust or silicon nano machines steals these items in quantum dimensions. In quantum dimensions, there are no boundaries or no walls, absolutely nothing. It can steal from anywhere, from my pant pocket. It can steal from envelopes. It can steal from anywhere, literally. In fact, 10 minutes before it happened, I was at the COVID test counter to pay some COVID testing fees. So I took out my wallet and I was about to pay with a credit card. Before I even took my credit card out of my wallet, this evil AI dust stole a different credit card and it made it appear 2 inches above my wallet in the hand. And then it fell on the table. So I was about to take a credit card out of my wallet and this credit card appeared in the air, out of thin air, and it fell on the table. This evil AI dust or silicon nano machines performed this operation in Hyderabad airport at the COVID test counter on July 9th of 2021. Democracy in America and the Western countries is the biggest con job ever perpetrated in the history of human species. The entire nation of America, the media, spends their entire lives, which is actually controlled by the CIA covertly, limits American conversations, American public's conversations to sexism, misogyny, patriarchy, homophobia, Nazis, fascism, majority, minority, democracy, freedoms, autocracy, sports, movies, and celebrity gossip, and that's it. So they'll spend their entire lives discussing, perceiving, and analyzing everything through the prism of these topics. It is not an exaggeration if I say I am the only human being on the planet who lives in real reality, because I'm privy to all these technologies and weapons because of my 20-year ordeal, my torture experiences. I was physically and mentally tortured for 20 years. If I didn't teach all this evil AI dust capabilities to the human species, they won't know these things for the next 50 years. I appear as a lunatic to the entire 8 billion human beings, but as a unique, gifted human to the evil deep state, US government, shadow government. And you have to remember that people with unique abilities appear like lunatics. Any of you think that I'm a lunatic or a schizophrenic, paranoid person, I challenge you and anybody for an public open debate. When it comes to rational thinking and logical thinking, I have no equals. The evil US government knows that for a fact. So time is really running out for human species to remain human.